Hey everyone, Synthetic Future here, and welcome to the Attic. Now, I don't usually do talking head videos on controversial topics because it's not the kind of content I want to make. But we're going to stray away from this a little bit because I recently did make such a video, and this was just to see what would actually happen if we play a little bit more to YouTube's rules. So, in general, when I release videos, the videos that I release around the release of a new piece of software, they do well. The videos I do around software in general, like specific programs, they do fairly well. But talking head opinion videos usually don't get that many views. I made this video about pedalboards, I think, about a month ago. And I made a very nuanced take talking about some of the pros, some of the cons. I uploaded it to YouTube and I thought that would be a good video to just kind of talk about this topic and share my feelings about this topic. But after rewatching it, I figured it would be just one more video with 30 views and that's not really going anywhere. So I figured I'd try something else. What if I took this one video, split it into two parts, make one positive, make one negative. And then we could see what would happen. Now, it isn't perfectly scientific, because the videos are not the same length, they don't have the same style of thumbnail, right? One has the face thingy going on and one doesn't. But the titles are in the same ballpark. So I figured, well, that's close enough. Let's just roll with it. Fully expecting there to be a bit of backlash. Because once you start to polarize content, well, you get some people that like it and some people that dislike it. And as to no one's surprise, that's exactly what happened. But the view numbers are actually kind of odd. Like I said, usually when I post videos talking about just things, it's in the 50 views something. It's tiny numbers. Whereas a new release like Battalion will do 2000 or something. This video kind of went weird. So we have the positive and the negative video, with the positive video sitting at roughly 40 something views, and the negative video sitting at a whopping 500 plus views. Also, the negative video has a lot of comments. Not the most flattering of comments, although there were some pretty respectful people in there still, so good on you. The reason why it doesn't really surprise me is that you do see a lot of negativity and a lot of polarization in media these days. It's either good or bad, it's either something you want or you don't want. There's rarely ever space for grayness anymore. And with this little experiment I wanted to see just how that works out with video statistics. Well, turns out if you talk shit about stuff, people will watch it, apparently. Unlike this video, which is likely going to be lost in the algorithm again, but it is what it is. So, just to clarify, before we get any misconceptions, and I feel there are already some misconceptions here, I do not judge people for using pedals at all. In fact, if I were to, well, that would be a bit of a hypocrite, right? Because I have these little fun boxes here as well. And if you check my channel backlog, you will see I've talked quite a fair bit about effects pedals on this channel. So I'm not against pedals. The point I wanted to make with the video when I first shot it was that it's smart to consider your use cases, and it's smart to consider some very real downsides to using analog pedals like this stuff, for instance. Great pedals, but they do have downsides. And from personal experience, I found that it's very easy to look at a multi-effects pedal and be like, well, it doesn't look all that fun. They are very expensive, so let's just buy a few pedals. It's cheaper, it's easier, it's more personal. You can grab some funky little things, have some fun with it, not really being aware of all the downsides. So my more nuanced take would be that, yes, in a lot of cases I do honestly think a multi-effects is probably the right way to go. just for the sake of portability, reproducibility, speed, flexibility. Those are all things where multi-effects are just superior. And you can try to argue otherwise, but there's just no battle, right? I mean, if you put 4 of these side by side, you have about the size of a small multi-effect or a small camper modeler or something. And 4FX boxes, although cool, will not match that. So yeah, it's just not happening. But that doesn't mean that these things don't have value. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't use them. And it doesn't mean that your specific use case is invalid. I think that's something that people tend to feel once you say you don't like something. Especially, I worded it more strongly than I usually would. So once you come on to people, they will react, which of course drives the algorithm. So that's good, I guess. But that's the thing with opinions. If you nuance things, usually people won't be that interested in them. And when you polarize them and you really emphasize something that is somewhat controversial, that's where you will get reach with videos. And it annoys me, because if you watch any of my other videos, you will see that in general I'm not that strongly opinionated, because I don't think things are inherently bad in general. There are things that are inherently bad, but most things are much more nuanced. They may be great for some people and not great for other people. They may work for some people, they may not work for other people, but there's a lot of stuff out there that isn't inherently bad. So yeah, I just wanted to throw this video out there before everyone thinks that I'm some sort of hater, because I'm not. I've read the comments. I am aware that it's a way more nuanced debate than I portrayed in my video, because once again, that was just to see what would happen if I were to take a very nuanced video and polarize the hell out of it. So yeah, thanks for participating in this little experiment, I guess. If you watch the bad video, do check the good video and you will see that I touch on a lot of points where these pedal boxes are actually very good. And that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I will leave the videos up. I have thought about taking them down because they don't represent what my channel is about. But at the same time, traffic is traffic, I guess. And well, as long as it isn't extremely harmful to people, and I have disclaimers in place. I actually linked the good video in the bad video, the bad video in the good video. I'll update the little bio thingies, description boxes, to make sure people are aware that this is the unnuanced version of what is usually fairly nuanced content. I'll leave it at that, and I will see you in the next video.